they deserve your best. A message brought to you by the Department of Probation and Child Protection Services. Contact us at 467 1311 or 662 6833 for more information.
Good day, a pleasant good day. The time is approximately 10:36, and we are geared for a bit of an interview with His Excellency Mr. Calvin Saint Justy. I think I don't know if I pronounced that right, but he is the executive chairman of the Citizenship by Investment, and he has sought fit to grace our studios today. And so, without further ado, I'm going to get things rolling by sending you over to our moderator.
Thank you, Quint. Good morning, listeners, and thank you for joining us this morning. We have in studio this morning a very special guest, His Excellency Mr. Calvin Saint Juste, Executive Chairman of the Citizenship by Investment Program. And he is here to tell us all about the recently announced affordable housing project. So, Mr. Saint Juste, what is this project? What is the affordable housing project?
Well, first off, let me just extend my appreciation for having me here at winnfm radio station, as well as the virtual side of things. One thing I would say is that recently I've begun incorporating a little bit more of the local media to help nationals, citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, understand what's behind the curtain of our CBI program. I think there have been a significant number of headlines that has occurred, and people have seen things and heard certain things. And I think it's important to come to the listening audience and the virtual audience to really provide official updates on the program and share the exciting things that are happening within our Citizenship by Investment program, which has been the first in this industry, and projects that are impacting the lives of our citizens. I had the pleasure yesterday of being at one of the other radio stations, and it's very clear coming out of that there is more information that needs to be shared to clarify, but even more engagement to educate individuals on what's happening with their CBI program and how it's impacting them. So to answer the question, before I get directly on the affordable housing, I would speak around what we call a sector of our program, which is called the public benefit option, and what that is. In the Citizenship by Investment program, we have really two components from an investment perspective. And how this works is very high net worth individual will seek an opportunity to invest their significant assets into various countries. And as such, we then afford them the opportunity to become citizens. And so we have an option which is called the Sustainable Island State Contribution, where the government made a very bold statement to earmark St. Kitts to be a sustainable island state. And what that means to the regular person, it's simply we want to be our own captains of our own ship. We want energy. We want to use the energy that we have, use our resources to provide food security. We want good health care. We want to ensure our infrastructures and roads get completed. And so that contribution that investors provide to the sustainable island state goes to that. The second one is really specifically what this topic is about, our public benefit option, which is primarily government-based capital projects that we use our Citizenship by Investment program to support the lives of St. Kitts and citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis. And so I'm actually proud that one of these, we actually have 5, I'll share those after, but one of these really has an impactful, it's affordable housing. I think everyone can resonate to affordable house, low to medium income individuals. And so what we have done is we have partnered with a very large agency that's primarily based in Canada. They have done work in various other CBI countries, such as Antigua, and they saw it fit to partner with us here in St. Kitts and Nevis and to provide the investment upfront to support the construction of about 100, over 100 to almost 150 homes as a phase one perspective here in St. Kitts. And just to give you a little insight of this agency, they have been in the business for 25 years. They've been in CBI for 25 years. They're a Canadian-based company. And they have netted over about $9 billion that they have supported. And so the fact that they've actually seen the benefit of coming here in St. Kitts and supporting with the investment of affordable housing has been very important. I'd shared this before that this initiative, along with all the various initiatives, is personally important because I myself had grown up in a sort of single parent where rent was part of the journey of my life. And it was very important when one can secure a home. And not just a home, but an affordable home based on your income component. And that I saw change not only my lives, but I definitely saw it change the lives of others to have that asset that's safe and secure. So we've partnered with client referral, and we have received, we have the investment, and that has been transitioned to our National Housing Corporation, who will oversee the construction of these homes in regards to getting them built. And one thing I've always been very clear on is that the benefit shouldn't only be at the end, which is the construction and the delivery of the homes, but St. Kitts and Nevis citizens should be part of the journey. So we will have local project managers, we will have local contractors, procurement has already begun, and we will have our local tradesmen who are the ones building the home. So this public benefit option is touching every aspect of our citizens.
Okay. All right. And so, well, those are the, well, what are the aims then of this? You've just outlined the aims of that, of the public benefit.
The aims in terms of
The affordable housing project.
yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what this initiative, so I'll step back a bit. So we have right now 5 public benefit options that exist here in St. Kitts and Nevis. The first one, which you may have heard, is our Bastia High School. And that is very critical from an education perspective. And, you know, what people may not be aware of, the actual principle of the investment aspect is actually a petition, a Bayesian petition. And we are very proud to say that we have engaged with an investor who has done very well over the years and has indirectly come back to contribute in that shape or form. And so there has been earthworks that has taken place, big procurement of the materials, and so work has begun in that space for our Bastia High School, an opportunity for our young individuals to have an environment to really curate their minds, a state-of-the-art Bastia High School. The second one that we have, and that ties in perfectly with our creative economy. We have a number of individuals here who actually has very unique talent in performing arts in various aspects. And so we decided in terms of providing opportunity for them in terms of where they can display that artistry. And that's part of our creative economy center. And that's part of our public benefit option. The third one is the expansion of our airport, or RLB airport. And so we have a design PBO, public benefit option, that's taking place. And once that is completed in regards to the actual design in partnership with Casper, then we will then engage a construction company to begin the building and construction of our airport. And then we also have an interest in, which is the Marriott. And I always say this public benefit option, we don't really talk as much as we should. When we hear Marriott, we assume it's just a hotel. We think it's just the hospitality And locally, folks tend to do a little bit more of activities in the casino as well. But what Marriott has done for St. Kitts and Nevis is areas that we haven't double-clicked. They're one of the largest employers here in St. Kitts and Nevis. They provide desalination support, water to the Frigate Bay area. They support in hospitality scholarships, making sure that, and culinary scholarship for individuals. And so they're part of our public benefit option in terms of supporting the lives of St. Kitts and Nevis. And then we have the other aspect, which will then be our public, I would say, affordable house, national housing. And so that would be the fifth aspect of our public benefit option. Having the aspect now, we can have a specific public benefit option that touch the lives of individuals. So the aim of this is really for low to middle class individuals who have various income. And we want to be able to provide to them the opportunity to get their homes. These homes will be built in the next 12 to 16 months. Construction has already begun. The investor has been very clear. It's not just an investment, but they want to make sure that the investment is impacting the lives of our citizens. And they've indicated that they also want to see the completion. And so citizenship by investment, we now have oversight. We have independent international contractor consultants and project managers who also will be making sure that these homes get completed at the international standard. So, we're quite excited that we are able to participate, but more importantly, we can now see the actual result with this PBO.
Okay. So how does this housing initiative align with the public benefit option under the CBI program?
So, I mentioned that, the aspect of public benefit option is to ensure that the public benefit. And individuals gain the contribution that these applicants provide, these investors. It goes beyond just providing an investment. It is also ensuring that these investments are channeled to the projects that they've actually earmarked. Creating real and lasting values for our citizens here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Affordable housing is really a clear example of basic human needs. That goes without saying. It is a critical part of our infrastructure. It is a critical part to showcase that this program that has been in existence for 41 years, we have been the architect, is definitely impacting the lives of individuals. And we want to make sure we're not just saying it. We want to ensure that our citizens are the ones who are the ambassadors, seeing and feeling the outcomes of these investments.
Okay, so next point now, how will the homes be delivered?
Yes. So, as I indicated, we've partnered with the National Housing Corporation, and the delivery of these carefully phased, really to ensure the quality and the delivery and efficiency of these homes. So the homes are going to be designed to benefit low and middle income families, those who tend to often face great barriers to home ownership. And we wanted to make sure that the payment is an extreme flexible one that allows individuals, no matter to some degree their income base, that they can afford it. And so it goes beyond just providing home. It's really an initiative that has economic value. It is going to truly create economic activity in St. Kitts, but is also going to, at the end of it, demonstrate that their CBI is actually contributing to their lives, giving them the opportunity to own a home of their own.
Okay. And a very important question now is, where will these houses be constructed?
I think you're absolutely, that is the most important question. What I would say is, and I'll use the word phases, we have earmarked various sectors by the National Housing Corporation on the location that best suited for this phase one. The first is in the Sandy Point area, and that's going to take place. The other sector is going to be St. Peter's. We also have earmarked Newton Ground and Halfway Tree. And these areas truly, as I said, will be immediately from a phase one perspective. And I'm actually proud that we're able to partner with the National Housing Corporation, who has really been a champion in really providing these affordable homes. And we're happy now we can provide the actual investment towards making sure that they can execute on these.
Well, I hope among these houses will be some for the older folks.
We will provide opportunities for everyone.
Okay, then. Just I'll bear that in mind. Now, you mentioned earlier the client referrals. Would you like to expand a little on that? What is their role really in this initiative?
Yes. So as I indicated, client referral is what we classified as an agent, an international marketing agent in the industry of investment migration. As I said, they have been in the industry for over 25 years. They're very large. And I had the opportunity of meeting the principal, an individual that I had a one-on-one with. And not only is his purview from a business side, but it's from a personal side. And what I took away from the conversation was that he wishes to support with this significant investment to ensure that the lives of citizens here in St. Kitts and Nevis are truly uplifted, and there's an element of growth. But he also told me personally that he wants to be able to bring his kids, who have been quite fortunate in their lives, but demonstrate to them where this investment has gone. And when you hear an investor who is saying, I'm not just investing, just the funding, but I also want to showcase personally that how these investments are impacting the lives of individuals. That really is a significant component. So they've been there for a very long time, a Canadian-based company.
Right, that is probably one of the most important aspects of this thing, because people invest, they do all sorts of investments, and sometimes you don't really know where they go.
Yeah, and you're absolutely right. I know sometimes I think we just have to be very direct here. I think sometimes we tend to dance around. We've seen certain situations where certain investment may not have been completed or have been invested but not getting to the right completion. So when we did the reform, one of the core mandate that the Prime Minister, the Honorable Dr. Terence, was very clear in is two things. He said to me when I returned back to the region to support in this capacity, customer service is important. And we talk about it, people think it's a sort of, it's a given. But you do what you say. And he's very clear on making sure that that's part of what the CBI needs to be. It is not just you saying it, but you do what you say. And so we have oversight of the completion of these initiatives to ensure that they get completed so that citizens here in St. Kitts and Nevis can be ambassadors towards this program. I think, unfortunately, we've seen certain negativity around it. I had the opportunity to visit and speak and present to the EU 2 weeks ago. And what I would say is the international partners want to ensure that the program continues, but we have to do it with a level of transparency. We have to do it with a level of integrity. They want to ensure that these investments are touching the lives of the citizens that the investors has earmarked. And that has been our goal with a number of reforms, and that is what our mission has been here. This is Citizenship by Investment Unit.
Okay, and then as you mentioned, transparency. I know that you have other engagements coming up. You won't be able to spend any length of time on any questions with us today, but I am hoping that in the next couple of weeks you'll be back, because we could ask listeners to send in, whatever questions they might have, so that when next you come back, we can have a longer, more fulsome discussion.
Absolutely. I'll close with this to some
Oh, I
degree.
have another question.
Yeah, my closing ahead of time. I'll share this. The CIP, or Citizen Investment Programs in the Caribbean, are going through a transformation, and a transformation is actually a positive aspect. And what we are seeing is the aspect of our international partner partnering with us to ensure that these programs are appropriately regulated. There's a harmonization, a standardization that is in place. And I think sometimes we tend to get a little bit concerned when you see anything in relation to our program. But I think it's important that we get the official response. I think that's something I have observed each time. You always have to get the official response. And the official response is to ensure that you're clear and you can be confident that this program is being run efficiently and effectively. And if there's any tweaking and reforms, that we're listening. We want to listen not just to our global citizens who wishes to be part of St. Kitts and Nevis, but we want to listen to our local citizens here. And if there's concerns, we want to address them. We want to make sure that we provide the right information with transparency, and we want to make sure that their voices are heard to ensure that the program can continue for another 40 plus years.
And you all have a website for this, right? That listeners, outsiders can access for information?
Yes. We have a ciu.gov.kn.
ciu.gov.kn.
.kn.
And a question I'm seeing here is, how does this initiative reflect the overall direction of the Citizenship by Investment program?
So I'll put it this way. Historically, our program has been one where individual will raise the capital to support in various projects, and that continues. But we needed to be innovative, and we want to transform the program where we want to see the capital in as soon as possible, so that activities are happening directly in St. Kitts and Nevis. I think sometimes we tend to approach things where it takes time, and time is relative depending on which side of the fence you're on. And so what we have heard is, how can we ensure that this program and this funding quickly get into the hands of our citizens, and how it can actually impact their lives. And so this is a transformative approach that we're now moving towards, where the investment immediately will go into these various projects and ensure that we can demonstrate and showcase what our citizenship by investment is doing for our citizens here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Remind me though, what you said is the number of houses, initial number?
The number of houses over 100. I would say between
Over
100 and
100,
150. Obviously, construction prices. I'm not an expert, so I think National Housing Corporation. But it's over 100 that has been earmarked for the phase one.
And when do we expect them to be on the ground?
The timeline is between 12 to 16 months. As I said, activity has already begun. There's been, I think, if I'm not mistaken, they've already begun the procurement process in getting contractors, securing individuals to work on these sites. So a lot of activities which has already begun, but I think we're going to see even more over the upcoming weeks.
Wonderful. Well, I see that your management are already standing up to take you out of here. So I guess that's a sign that we must come to an end. But I want to say thank you very, very much for having come. And this is just the first phase of what is more to come.
Thank you again. Thank you very much to WinFM. I think it's an opportunity to come. I tend to be more at the global side in terms of some of the events and participation. But most importantly now, it's important now at this right time that our citizens can truly understand what citizenship by investment is about, our citizenship investment unit, and how it impacts their life. Everyone needs to be a positive ambassador. Citizenship is for all of us, and we want to make sure that our new citizens and our existing citizens can benefit on all aspects of what this program can deliver. So thank you very much.
And we're going to be having long, ongoing programs to discuss and make sure that everybody is informed, everybody knows what to look for, and everybody can contribute and understand what it's all about.
Absolutely. Thank you again.
My pleasure.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
It's the start of the week. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for Unfiltered. Join Azar